here. Rumble chat. Maybe that's the Rumble chat. I'm not sure. And then the restream chat. That's right there. I can see it. Okay, great. There it is. Great. We'll refresh that. And we'll disable that. There go the notifications. I'm getting them right now. That's great. All right. Hello everybody, welcome. We got Cyber here. We're chilling. I spent today transplanting some of these orchids. It's a big job. I had to slice them in half. I cut one in half and it only had one little root on it, and I was like, oh man, I missed the cut on it. I didn't cut it right. And so when I pulled it out, it had one root. And I was like, you know, these things, at least it's got one root on it. It should be fine. So I went ahead and I planted that one. And then I had another one that I had to split, but I was more careful. And that one had plenty of roots on it. And I was able to just move that one right over. Moo.
Moo.
Skeeter B. Hello, Romaine or Michael? And if it's Romaine, how's Michael doing? Oh, and let's start the Instagram. Get that one going. Okay. Okay, zippity-dee-do. Oh, look at that hawk. He's going to get himself a mole right out of the ground. Let's see if he does it. Let's see if he gets him. Oh, no. He got away from you, buddy. The mole got away from you. I'm trying a different spot now. You're going to have to be better. He's still going at it. Let's see. He's going to rip at the ground some more. It's so funny. Those moles must just be right under the grass, man. He gave up, and he's hunting for another one. Okay, right on. Karen, hello. Skeeter. Oh, it's Romaine. Okay. Hello, Romaine. How's Michael? Give us good news. Hopefully. Hey, Steve. 51.9, but you know what's happier than 51.9? Harmony. 81887 right now. Leet. It's leet. No, it's not leet, but whatever. It has to be threes, so we're supposed to be threes, not eights.
Yeah, 1337.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We'll see what happens there. Okay, yeah, that should do it. That should get the job done.
Those Tron sneakers is sold for thousands on eBay.
Yeah, they were $400 on was their
Yeah.
price. $400.
Yeah, but it was thousands of dollars they ended up.
That's good because Trump doesn't see any of that jacked up money. All he gets is $400 a pop. It's when people resell it, they resell it for more. He's doing good. Good. I'm glad Michael's doing good. Tell him we're thinking about him. We're doing dabs for him. Hopefully that blood is flowing nice and easily through his arteries now with the stents in. What amazes me is that they can determine where the clots are in a human body when you have a heart attack. That they can find them, and then they can address them. That's God. Human technology is so advanced. That's crazy that we have the ability to do that. Okay, man. Let's see how it goes here with the glows here. Goes there. Okay. Kepper, hello. Kepper, you want to... Okay, 8... We're going to do 8:30. 8 minutes and 30. Kepper wants to... When the sun is coming in just right, you can see the shadow of the heat coming off the heat coming off that quartz nail or bucket. It looks like, it almost looks like smoke, but when you look at it, you don't see anything. But when you look at the shadow, you see heat coming off. It's so weird that you can see that. But you can't see it normally. Oh yeah, you can see it. Yeah, I see it. If you look at stuff behind it, it distorts that whatever you're looking at. Oh, that's so cool. That's cool that you can see heat. Well, you can see the effect heat has on our atmosphere. That's fucking cool.
Oh yeah. You didn't know that?
It's cool. No, I just said it's cool that you can see it. I didn't say I didn't know that. I mean, I've seen it many times. But it's still cool to see. No, Laura, you're going to get us to your summer. Yeah, I just discovered you can see heat. I discovered it. You're going to call it Nay. That effect is called the Nay effect. Cheers. So, Donald Trump's going to have to claim personal bankruptcy, huh?
Yeah, that's fucking cool, man.
It
Fucking
is.
just sell that shit.
It is so cool. Now, I haven't heard this anywhere. I'm completely just predicting it.
If that happens, then you have to sell all his assets, right? Like hotels and all what he owns, businesses.
Liquidate his assets. If a judgment determines that, yes. But the thing is, his businesses might be separate from his personal finances. These judgments are against him personally, not against his companies.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he probably, yeah, that's an LLC or something like that would
Yeah.
prevent that, right? Yeah.
I think so. But
That's bullshit.
he's got two different things that have added up now. Not only did he get the fraud conviction, but he also owes this woman, E. Jean Carroll, who sued him for defamation after she accused him of raping her, and him just going out and just talking all kinds of shit about her at his rallies and on video. And it's on video, and she fucking sued him, and she won. She got him at like 80 mil or something. I can't remember, 30 mil, 80 mil. And then
I mean, he just have walked around and think he had been untouchable for so fucking long, man.
It's funny to say he was just speaking yesterday about it, and to hear him speak is the most hypocritical thing. He was saying, you know, they're so vindictive. He was talking about the judges and the Democrats. He says they're so childish and vindictive, and they just you know, and it's like the whole time he's just talking about himself. And it's like, dude, oh God, that's exactly who you are, man.
That's fucking funny. Did
It's
you
called them
see,
vengeful. They're so vengeful.
Talking about petty and vengeful, I saw a video today with a guy. It was one of Charlie's videos, seen that, where a girl, she posted a video of her dad making food to her, and a guy who owned a company called parchmentpaper.com used the company account to tell her she's just privileged and all, fucking dissing her big time.
Oh my God.
And she responds, he retaliates, she responds, and he retaliates, and it keeps fucking going on and on and on, man. Watch that video, it's fucking mind-blowing.
From his company account.
And he used two company accounts. He used that parchment.com, and then he used another one, also something with paper. I don't recall the name of. So he docked himself on two different accounts, man, doing that shit. He's a fucking... Watch that video, it's fucking hilarious, man.
Okay.
I think it was even Charlie or Asmongold. I think it was Charlie. It was mind-blowing how petty people are, man. He started talking shit, and then when he responded to her, then it was her talking shit. It was so fucking far out. Jesus fucking Christ.
How old did you say this little child was?
She was not a child, but she was a teen, I think, early 20s or something.
Oh, she was older. Okay, I thought she was a little girl.
But he went on, she was privileged and lived by her dad's money. All of a video where her dad made food on a fucking pan she bought him or something like that. That was all the fucking sparked it. And he went fucking nuts.
Why? She should have just blocked him. But now she's got all this drama. I guess she helped create. Now she's famous.
Yeah, but she defended herself, you know, and everyone was on her side, you know, because he was literally an asshole. He came out of nowhere and he kept fucking going. He even contacted her fucking workplace to make her remove that video where she responded to his fucking harassment. Fucking mind blowing, dude.
He's a troll's troll.
Yeah, I mean,
fuck.
And he was probably the one that was privileged, who had money, who got that company fucking inherited from somewhere and ran it into the ground or something. So now he's fucking pissed. I don't know. But it's fucking Jesus Christ.
If you guys have ever been involved in a conversation with a Trump supporter and you pointed out the fact that he's claimed bankruptcy 6 or 7 times and their response is, well, those were just his companies. That wasn't him personally. If he has to go ahead and claim bankruptcy now, and it has to be personal bankruptcy, you can have that same conversation with all those people. What do you think their response is going to be when you say, okay, so now he's claimed personal bankruptcy? Now, do you think that he's a bad businessman now that he's gone?
That will be some kind of fucking excuse.
You know what they'll say? Well, that's not one of his businesses. That's him personally. You know that it was because E. Jean Carroll. You know, she accused him of rape, and there's no evidence to that. It's not on camera. It's his word against hers. You'd like to see Trump go to jail, Kepper? Why? So you can vote for a president that's in jail, Kepper? Oh, God. I'd like to see Trump in prison. I'd like to see Biden in prison. You know, I'd like to see fucking Kamala Harris in prison. I see all those fucking cunts in prison. Yeah, so I saw a thing today about AI. They were talking about AI is advancing itself now, and they don't know, and they're confused as to how this is happening.
What do you mean advancing itself?
It's learning shit and doing things on its own.
Yeah, that's the whole idea, right? You have to learn. That's AI. Else it would just be a script.
Yeah, but it's getting more and more powerful. It's getting stronger and faster and better, and it it can display more of its. And it's like it's doing more than it's being asked. And it's doing things that are unexplainable too, like glitches and shit. This is going in a very bad direction, you know. People are noticing it. People are starting to speak out against it, which is good.
As AI is now, where you can fucking make those videos. Granted, those videos is not good right now. But 6 months ago, those pictures AI was making was not that good either compared to now.
That's the point.
Down the line,
that's the point, Cyber. It's only 6 months later, and the thing's already doing, you know, artwork that's comparable to professional artwork. Videos that are comparable to professionally made videos.
So in a year, 1 year, 2 years down the line, you will literally not be able, both with voice AI, picture AI, and video AI, and text AI, fucking all the branches of AI, you will literally not be able to tell what's real and not real no more. And that's gonna be scary.
I will when I throw a brick through my fucking computer monitor. Like everyone probably should. Like that Apple commercial. Remember the Apple commercial?
There was a scientist that said that we have reached the point of no return.
Yeah.
And the only way that
his name's Trendy Nay
can get back, the only race the human race can get back to again is to destroy all technology. And that means that we have to destroy all technology down to fucking lighters and matches, and have to forget how to fucking make those. Before we reach that point, and a generation have been living, so there's no fucking writing or memory back, that's the only fucking way we can reset it. I'm not saying that's how it is, but that was what he was saying.
Right.
I don't know, I think it was even on Lex Friedman or someplace like that. So
fucking Lex, Joe. Ugh. Those two fucking warped idiots.
Yeah, but some of those people they have on it are pretty. I like them. Did you see that guy? You know that guy who got eaten by a big anaconda as a big stunt for Discovery?
Yeah.
Oh, he is actually a really great guy who have done a lot in Amazons to animal preservation and plant and shit like that.
Uh,
Um, Discovery hired him to do a documentary about big snakes and killer snakes and eating snakes. They ended up um, basically forcing him into be he had a suit he could take on, and then they forced him to be eaten by. He didn't want to be eaten by a snake, not because he was scared of it, but because not he didn't want to hurt the snake, and he didn't want to fucking have because it was all for show. It had nothing to do with saving animals. It had nothing to do with
science.
anything. It was
Right.
simply just for show. He didn't want to do it. Discovery forced him into fucking doing that shit, and he basically got fucking ousted out of the whole fucking community after they saw that video and shit. But he have a really good fucking interview on Next Street, man. He's really, really good. You should watch it, man. He's a really good guy.
Nice.
He has some awesome fucking stories about awesome fucking animals in Amazons. The Amazon.
You have to watch Valerian, bro.
Yeah, you said that.
Yep.
I couldn't. It was on Netflix, but I don't have a Netflix account, and I don't want to use yours because of VPNs and all that. They're
Right.
cracked down on that. It's not a good idea. I don't want to use your Netflix. I guess I can find it on a torrent somewhere. Download it on the laptop.
Definitely do not spend a whole lot of effort trying to get this movie, bro. I'm telling you, it is that bad.
Oh, it's bad. No, I don't know.
It's bad. It's bad. It's just a poorly... But it's fucking hilarious. I mean, when you think about... Do you want me to just tell you the movie? Alright, here's the movie. Okay, everybody, if you're going to watch Valerium, this is a spoiler, so you don't want to watch it. You don't want to watch my video. It doesn't matter. There's only 5 people watching on Rumble. The movie's called Valerium. Starts out, this young couple shows up at this little realty shop. And this really weird realty agent walks up to them and says, this is the home, the model. And they're like, what else you got? And he's like, this is all we sell. And he's like, let me take you out there and show you the neighborhood. I'm sure you're going to love it. So he drives them out there to this neighborhood. They follow him. He drives and they follow him in their car, I believe. And they get to the neighborhood and every fucking house looks the same. And they're all close together and it's like this, all got this one little fucking patch of yard and this one tiny little backyard and this cute little house, this little fucking... really weird shit, and they go in there and they shows them the house, and they look around, they're looking around and inspecting it and shit, and all of a sudden the realty agent's gone, and his car's gone. They walk outside, their car's sitting there, but he's gone, his car's gone. He's fucking abandoned them, and they're like, whatever. So they just get in their car and they're like, we'll just fucking get out of here. So they start driving out of the neighborhood, bro, and it's just this one continuous circle, and they can never get out. No matter which way they turn or what they do, they end up right back at their same house. They know it's their house because they left the door open or something, like the front door was open or whatever. So this goes on for a little while, and then they finally come back to that house, and they go into the house, and they just like whatever, they fucking end up getting stuck there, bro. They can't get out, and they can't call anybody, and they tried to walk, and if they tried to walk across the backyards and shit, and jump the fences and jump the fences and jump the fence, and all the clouds were really weird looking and shit. It looked like something out of a kid's book. It was really fucking weird, and they're getting really frustrated and shit, and then all of a sudden there's this box on their front door, and they open the box and there's a baby inside with a note. And they're looking around, there's no one there, but someone left this fucking baby and said, raise this child as if it's your own and you will be released. And they're like, what? They're like, fuck this. You know, what the fuck is going on? They're freaking out. But they start raising the baby, and the baby grows up really fast into this fucking psycho kid who fucking starts screaming all the time. Just, ah! Just fucking screams, and he won't stop. And he just screams at the TV and watches the TV and does weird shit. And no law regarding cannabis. Cheers, cyber. Cheers, everybody.
Yes, bro. Cheers, everybody.
It's top of the hour. So the kid basically drives the husband outside in the front yard where he starts digging a hole with a shovel. He just starts digging a hole in the front yard because he thinks he hears something underground. So he digs and he digs and he digs, and eventually he digs down so deep, dude, he's got a ladder to get down in there and dig, and he's hauling all this dirt out. And the kid's driving her crazy inside the house. Eventually the kid is a full-grown man. And the father just fucking, he just is digging so much. He's always digging. He finally hits something, and he hit something. I can't remember what the fuck he hit. It was like a different layer of dirt or something, you know? It's like nothing. And he's fucking all exhausted from all the digging and shit. He climbs out of the thing. He just fucking dies. The husband just fucking dies. And so the baby that they raised that grew into like an adult now is all weird and shit. He fucking he pushes the fucking husband down in the hole and buries him in the hole, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes after the mom, and she's like running from him, and he's like fucking crying and screaming at her and shit like a big fucking baby. And she like is running down the street, and she somehow slips into the gutter, like out in front of the house. There's like a curb, and there's like a water drain, and she goes down in there, and all of a sudden she falls, and she's like falling through dimensions, and she falls into this other house where there's this other woman being tormented from another kid. And she's watching that, and then she falls through the floor again, and she's falling through the floor, and she sees all these other things. They're all fucking fucked up. It's all going on. She's struggling, and she keeps rolling down these tunnels and going through this fucking crazy dimensional fucking shit. It's all fucking weird. And I think she just gets the shit beat out of her rolling through all those fucking dimensions and shit, and then just exhausts her and shit, and then I believe she just fucking dies. And the dude that they raised, the baby, he goes out to their car that died a long time ago. He goes out to their car and fucking fires it right up and drives off. And he shows up at the fucking, here's the big ending, everybody. This is the big fucking, the reveal. No, dude, he drives right the fuck out of that bitch. He goes right to the fucking realty office where they've got the house. And the realty agent that was there, that sold them the house, the original guy that disappeared on them, he was there, and he was like, He was all shriveling up and shit. He was like, and the dude walks up to him, the kid, that's now an adult, walks up to the guy. He opens up a drawer. He pulls out this thing, it looks like a sleeping bag. He lays the guy down on, I think on the desk on top of the sleeping bag. And then he just rolls the dude up like a big fucking burrito cinnamon roll, dude. I kid you not. He rolls him up into the bag, just completely flattens him and smushes the dude into the bag like he's got no air left in him, like he was deflated. And then he just shoves the sleeping bag looking thing back into the drawer, closes the drawer. He fucking tidies up the area. He sits down at the desk where the dude was, and now he's wearing the same outfit that the other guy was wearing.
Yeah.
And then a new couple walks in looking for a house.
Yeah. Wow.
So you're to assume, I guess, that it's either, I think it's aliens or Satan. But you never really find out which it is. I mean, they show a lot of fucked up shit when she's falling through the dimensions, but that could be kind of like hell. But the whole clouds thing, and the fact that they were in like this purgatory area they couldn't get out of.
Yeah.
It was so fucking stupid, and it was so pointless. And that you're waiting for them to like solve it and get the fuck out, both of them, and then he dies, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? You're like, the husband's dead. I mean, they were like, it was like he was like a very integral part of this whole thing. He's dead. And then she dies. You watch her die, and then you're like, what's the point of all this, dude? What is going on here? Why? It's Soylent Green rewritten, says Billy.
Soylent Green. Soylent Green is human beings.
Yeah. No, it's people, bro.
Yeah, people.
It's people. Soylent Green is people.
The only reason I know that is because I watched a show, the same guy, Chris Carter, who wrote X-Files. He wrote a off-branch to that show called Millennium. And Lance Henriksen is the main actor there. And they had a code word for Millennium when they meet new people. That was Soylent Green, as people.
They actually...
It's a movie, right? It's a movie, a book or something like
that. Actually
right?
came out with a fucking drink here, dude, called Soylent Green. It's people. It's actually... I don't know if you can still get it. It's like a health food drink or something, I guess. I feel like I've been here an hour. 5 viewers on Rumble, 8 viewers on the YouTubes, with 2 people participating in the chat. So,
Well, people today.
oh, wait, I thought DeKindber was there, but I think he left. I guess everybody's watching the Daytona 500, which just started.
What is started?
The Daytona 500.
How long did it drive? How long is that? 24 hours?
No, as long as it takes them to drive 500 miles with a few yellow flags. They're driving 200 miles an hour on that track. Their average speed is probably 170 or 180 or some crazy fucking.
I never kind of got that. Here in Europe, we have Formula One where they kind of drive on a real track where there are left and right turns and shit like that. But in America, you only fucking drive left. What the fuck is that about? I don't get that.
Why you gotta be so mean?
Yeah, why only left? I mean,
the Trump supporters love it. It's easy for them to keep track of.
that's funny.
Yeah, I'm thinking so let's say they're 100 miles an hour. So it would take 5 hours. So 200 would be 2.5 hours. Somewhere around 3 hours usually. It's like a football game.
Yeah, they drive every week, right? On a new track.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know how often they do a race, but this is the big one of the most publicized ones. They've got the Indianapolis, and they got
And
the
like
Daytona.
the Super Bowl of racing.
It's a big one. It might be the last one of the year, of their season or something. I don't know. I bet you Nick probably knows.
I would imagine.
Dude, when you watched the race, we watched it last year, and you watched that race. It is pretty exciting, actually. The way they can cover it now with all the cams everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro! They got a camera that goes across the track. They got cameras in every car. They got cameras out the back window, out the front window, every angle, and then they've got all their external cameras.
Yeah, I remember I used to watch a lot of motorsport, especially Formula One as a kid. And once in a while, there was a camera on board, but it was fucking almost a rarity. I think there was one camera in the favorite car, the car that was a favorite or something like that.
Fox News is covering it today.
Yeah, I imagine they also have drones and shit up now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Motorsport is awesome. I love that.
Oh, my phone's over here on the charger. Whatever, dude. The young Obi-Wan Kenobi up in his shrine, they thought, is his name Owen McGregor?
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Right?
Was Jesus. I said nothing. No tip, of course, either. That's funny. Ewan from Trainspotting. Right, right. It went from 1887 to 1916. Harmony. Getting close to two
nice.
pennies, yeah. Pinoy, what's up?
Hey, Pinoy.
Will Rumble let me stream Daytona 500? Yes. They'll let me play anything. They don't care. Rumble's fucking crazy, dude. Rumble's fucking crazy. It's fun to watch. Billy Bong Thornton. What is going on with this shit, dude? I demand to know.
Going on with what?
My phone. My phone not working right. Not updating for some reason. Oh, what? What? Airplane mode? No, dude. Why was my phone in airplane mode, bro? That explains everything. Oh my
Stop flying
god.
around.
That is so funny. Thanks, Randy. I mean, they might have been Star Wars fans or part of the Jedi religion, but the Mother Mary statue and Confederate sword on the wall said otherwise. Yeehaw. Wow. Steve, you're crazy that you did that. Bro, I don't know if Lee took money from the CCCP or the C. Is it two C's or three C's, Cyber?
CCP.
I don't.
But internally there's three C's, but it is CCP and externally outside.
I don't know if Lee
China.
Camp took money from them. I know this. He got to travel to China, and I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have to pay for the trip.
Or 100 they have paid for that shit. Everyone you see as a white monkey like that, they have been paid. 100.
That's Cyber Reload saying it. But, I can't believe Steve confronted him, dude. He was live, and Steve went in there and said, I asked Lee if he took money from China, and he took comment off. Which, I'm assuming, he deleted your comment? Or did he turn comments off? Or what? What are you trying to say, Steve Running? You're crazy that you confronted him on that.
According to the China show, every single white monkey is paid. I mean, and what they say is 100% government by the CCP. There's nothing the CCP would allow if they wouldn't allow it. I mean, they 100%.
He deleted his comment.
Yeah, and that make it even more suspicious, right?
He doesn't want to. He didn't block you, did he, Steve? I hope he didn't block you from the show. He should address that, and he should come clean. And it's just like Destiny should address the NFTs.
Yeah.
It's just you said that NFTs were a scam, and then you tried to sell NFTs to your own audience. You're hypocritical. Yeah, that's hypocritical. Destiny should come clean with that. Just like Lee.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything, says Steve. You didn't say anything after that, so you don't know? I don't know if they gave him some kind of an award, or we could go back and watch it. Do you remember that, Cyber, when we watched that?
No, I don't.
Let's go back and watch it.
It's not that long ago, right?
10 months ago.
Hey everybody, welcome. How you doing? I did it. I went to China. Goddamn straight. I did. I needed to find out who picks the fortune cookies. All right, I needed to lay that down, and then I could really go on with my life. so I had to go to China. I did. I went to China. I did it. I fucking did it. Thanks for joining me, folks. I'm going to get into this. Why was I in China? What was it like? All of those things. I'm going to be getting into that in just a minute. Please take a second to click subscribe, click follow, click share, leave a comment. I'm asking you all. You see, sometimes I'm the Southern in me, Richmond, Virginia, born and
It
raised,
says the Second International Forum on Democracy. The shared,
y'all, and then I try and correct it, so it becomes
the shared human values.
I'm asking y'all. I'll just stick with y'all. I'm asking y'all in the comment thread. What is the real reason that the U.S. hates China now and maligns and attacks and propagandizes against China now? What is the real reason? Let me know what you think. I'm also taking a poll.
Look at Randy.
Which I'll give you the results towards the end of this episode on Twitter. I'm taking a poll.
Both Randy and Steve running. Those golden sneakers with the T look so interesting. $400 bucks each. Would you buy them? Mr. Furley, I think everyone who likes those Trump sneakers should not only buy them. If you're not sending every dollar that you have to your name to Donald Trump, then you really don't care. And that proves that you are not an avid supporter of him. You know, what would Jesus tell you to do? Jesus would say, hey man, money doesn't mean shit to you, but Donald Trump really needs it right now. So send all of your money to Donald Trump. This is financial advice. And please, when you do, make sure you put a memo and say, Nay's Garden told me to do this, to send all of my money, every penny, to Donald Trump. And I think you should definitely get those golden sneakers. So this is interesting because both Steve Running and Randy, right? Two different people. Randy says he's glad someone called Dusty out on his two-faced shit. I've seen also. Now I wonder what you're talking about. Two-faced shit for Cult of Dusty. Which shit? You mean when he was racist back then, or are you talking about something else? And then you said, this is breaking news on Steve. Those go... I'm sorry, guys. So... Anyway, we're back to Lee Camp. We had plenty of time to let it load, right?
Twitter at Lee Camp. So I'll tell you what people are saying over there. But yeah, I'm gonna get into this, and I got photos for you. I got all kinds of shit. I'm gonna show you some clips from some of the speeches there. So all right, let's start off with why I was in China. They wanted me to come over and inspect their weather balloons because apparently their weather balloons are heavily armed and attacking people, and so they wanted me to come check it out. I'm a weather balloon expert. So I headed over there. No, actually, I was invited by I was invited to speak at the Second International Forum on Democracy. This year was called Shared Human Values, and it was put on by a combination of China Media Group, which owns or is the parent company of CGTN, which many of you may know. They're equivalent to the BBC of China. And also put on by the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. Other people there that spoke at the forum. It was in Beijing, by the way. China is a rather tiny little country. So when I say I was in China, where was I? Oh, just China. Just hashtag China. It was in Beijing. Other speakers at the conference include, and some of them are standing on that stage right there. But I'm going to play a clip from the president of the Socialist Party of Zambia. I'm also going to play a clip from my friend and yours, George Galloway. Most of you know George Galloway from his hugely popular talk show, but he also was a 6-term member of parliament in Britain until they kicked him out for being against the Iraq War. You can't be against the Iraq War. That's really pivotal. When the empire, and I include Britain in that, is going to kill 1 million people, 99.9% of them innocent, and innocent civilians, then you got to support that. You got to be for it, or else they will kick you right the fuck
All right, let me try a couple things here.
out of Parliament. Anyway, so George Galloway was speaking. Also on that stage, as that you can see right there, is I believe a socialist senator from Pakistan. Also, one of the heads of CGTN is up there, and some others. Other speakers included I'm going to show you photos of some of them, but the former Prime Minister of Japan, the former Prime Minister of Thailand, Columbia University professor Jeffrey Sachs. He's a hugely popular and well-known professor at Columbia. All of those people speaking. Also Margaret Kimberly from Black Gender Report, and those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. So I was also asked to give a little speech, so I did that. And let's see, shall we start off? Let's start off with, before I get into what I saw in China, what is different from the propaganda that we get, what is not so great about China. Oh my God, can I do both? Can someone do both? Can there be nuance? Can there be good and bad things about China? No, never. Only one thing. That's what you get to believe nowadays. So I'm going to show, before I get into that stuff, I'm going to show a little bit of a speech. Let's start with George Galloway's. I'm just going to show a minute of it, and I'm going to play it a little fast because I don't want to make you all sit there all day. And people, when they're giving a speech in a forum, they speak a little slower for everybody. Also, there was a lot of multilingual people there, a lot of languages going on. But all right, here's a little George Galloway.
To what extent is our democracy superior to yours? Because we have the form of elections. His Excellency, the former Prime Minister of Thailand, said there was increasing polarization in Western democracies. But I beg to differ. Actually, in Western democracies, we have two cheeks of the same backside, two sides of the same coin. Sure, you can vote for this party or that party, but both parties stand for the same thing, have the same program, essentially, of neoliberal economics and imperialism abroad. What kind of choice is that? As I heard a wise man, Chinese man, say on television, in China you cannot change the party, but you can change the policies. In Western democracies, you can change the party, but you cannot change the policies. It's 25 years since I last spoke in Beijing.
All right, there was a little bit of, he goes off onto a story about something about the Prime Minister being in the audience when he last spoke or something like that. Anyway, there's a little bit of George Galloway. And he's got some great points there that in China, policies will change. I mean, people point to the lockdown protests that happened in China. They were far smaller than the U.S. and Western media pretended they were, but they did exist. So there was anti-lockdown protests, And guess what? When there started being legit protests in China, China stopped their lockdown. So, the Western media is pointing to that as, look, everybody in China hates China because there's protests. Actually, there's protests probably in every country around the world, or most of them. Maybe not in Seychelles. No, I don't know, but there's probably protests. In fucking Guadeloupe, they're throwing coconuts at the prime minister. No, there's probably protests in every country. The question is, how much are the leaders and the politicians and the people in office, both in municipalities, in smaller areas, and what we call the federal level, but the top level, how much do they actually listen to the people? In this case, this is actually an example where you can say, oh, the people in China, at least a portion of them, a rather small portion if you're looking at per capita, but a portion of them got upset enough about the long-term lockdowns, like 3 years of lockdowns or whatever, 2.5 maybe, and protested. And China changed their policy. So that actually speaks to people having an impact. Anyway, I think Galloway has a great point there that in China you can't change the party, but you can some of the time change the policy. In the U.S., and he's speaking in terms of Britain, you can change the party. You're just never changing the policies. You just have the same fucking policies from from a different group of master villains that are all owned by the same corporate entities. We have inverted totalitarianism, ruled by the anonymous corporate state. And we pretend as if we have democracy. We act as if we have democracy. We run around saying we have democracy. We fucking don't. All right? We don't have democracy. We don't have a republic. These people do not represent us. And, I've given many a rant on that, so I'll cut this one short. But all right. So I thought I'd show you a little of that. And I'll show you a little bit of another speech in a few moments. But let's get to some of the photos I took, and I will admit I'm no photographer, and I also tend to forget to take photos when I'm in a place because I prefer to just experience it with my brain, but it's not good for journalism per se to just experience with one's brain. Let's see here, but I also want to make the point that I am not trying, throughout the rest of this, I am not trying to speak for all of China. I didn't see all of China. I saw a tiny little portion of Beijing, which has 21 million people in it. I didn't speak to all 21 million. I spoke to max, I'm talking max, I spoke to 19 million people, okay? Absolute max. Probably more like 18.5 million people is all I had time for. I was there for 4 days. I had to buckle down. That's like a person every half a second. And that was the length of time. It's actually probably far less than half a second, but I had to just plow through there. Anyway, so I can't speak for any Chinese people. I'm not trying to. I'm giving you my impressions of what I saw and experienced. What was a surprise to me, what wasn't a surprise. And some of these things I'm saying, I know many of you are going to be like, fucking course. Why are you even bothering telling us that? But there are people out there that literally think China is just like dudes with rickshaws. They have no idea. I was taking notes and some things I wanted to mention. And one of them is that China is a very modern country, especially Beijing. So, and I realize that many of you are going, yeah, of course it's a modern country. They have better technology than us on a lot of things. But the reason I make a point of saying some of these things that many of you are like, of course, is because there are legit Americans that believe this shit, that believe that China is completely backwards and has no modern technology and shit like that. And so that's part of the reason that I feel the need to say that, is because the propaganda has been so effective, and we haven't even updated our insults.
The fucking strong man, no one ever said to have no
insults against China. So legit people think.
Why does he feel the need to defend them? all of a
I don't.
sudden,
It's so fucking weird.
right?
And that whole spiel he had with, oh, he talked to 18 million. What was the fucking point of that?
He's
It hadn't.
filibustering.
That's
Yeah.
nuts. I don't know what they think. It's crazy what your average American believes. So I'm not speaking for the average experience of the average Chinese person. You can go talk to a Chinese person if you like. I'm sure there are many online. And
But
in fact,
he's for the average
here's something I
American,
wanted
right?
to
The
mention
average
is that
Americans think
most
it's
of the
just
Chinese people that I met, and I get
stupid.
they're not. I wasn't meeting like the super poor, but keep in mind, because the ones I was meeting were at the forum or they were helping out with the forum. So even if they're an usher at the forum, they're still not the poorest of the poor. However, China did something massive, which is take 850 million people out of extreme poverty over the last 20 to 30 years. 850 million people. That's over
is the
2
most
Americas worth of people.
Bullshit argument. Oh,
They
we just
lifted them
lowered
out
the
of
poverty
extreme
rate
poverty.
and then we have magically take them out of poverty is fucking bullshit, dude. And he know it.
And it was a choice by China to do that, to lift people out of extreme poverty, and they achieved it. So,
Wow.
I just want to say that
Wow.
Beijing is a very modern city. It in many ways is more modern than a lot of American cities. Obviously, it has 21 million people. A lot of American cities have like 12. I was recently looking at populations of a lot of American cities. A lot of American cities, most American cities, like by far the vast majority are under 50,000 people. And Beijing has over 21 million. So there's a bit of a difference there. New York City has something like 8.5
He
million.
just keeps showing this one building.
Brooklyn has
Yeah,
like 2.5 million.
And then what with all the
So,
other towns and cities around
put
in
that in-
China and fucking villages and shit where they're not live fucking all those billions of people, man. I mean, it's a fucking mute argument.
in perspective. Just a
Fucking
little.
cherry picking.
So here are what I'm showing images right now of is just some of the buildings in downtown Beijing.
No, you're just showing one building.
Fairly recently put up, like the last 10 to 15 years, I think. I think the tallest one is the CGTN building that I went into to tape George Galloway's TV show that he was filming. He was borrowing their studio. His show is not on CGTN. He was just borrowing the studio. So, but very impressive skyscrapers and you know, an endless array of skyscrapers. Now, here is something negative that would not have showed up on a photograph, so there's no photograph of it. But especially the day I arrived, a lot of pollution. Beijing is blanketed
Always
in pollution.
pollution.
You've probably seen photos from when it was at its worst. It's not at its worst now, but a lot of pollution. And when I first arrived, like, it looked like the sun had been blotted out, like in the Matrix, where they burn the sky or whatever it was, where the humans burn the sky, the robots burn the sky, whatever it is. That's what it looked like. Like, you could not see the sun. However, I was later told that there was a rare sandstorm that actually hit Beijing, so that was not all pollution. It was probably about 50% pollution, 50% sandstorm. Anyway, but here's the thing. People would point to the pollution in Beijing or in China, and they say, look, China sucks, air pollution, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, that's something that we should want to, as humans, we should want that to be fixed, right? We should want there not to be pollution. We should want people not to get cancer. That's not a reason to hate China. In fact, maybe that's a reason to have empathy with Chinese people. To go, wow, that sucks. Like, because there's a lot of pollution.
There are more fucking
in
coal power
the-
plants than the rest of the world
in the United
combined.
States, right? And you've got cataclysmic pollution incidents like Palestine, Ohio. You've got stuff just like lead in the water, like Flint, Michigan, and apparently 2,000 cities across America have elevated lead levels. Lead levels that are beyond the safe limit. So when you look at that, like, yes, if it's an infrastructure thing, you can criticize the infrastructure of the country, but you should also be like, man, wouldn't it be great if that they found a way to clean that up. You shouldn't like hate people for living in like fuck the Chinese, man. There's a lot of pollution there. That is a nonsense way to think about humanity. All right, so I wanted to show you some of the gorgeous art and
Chinese
architecture
people
and
at the fucking
everything.
party,
This is just a hotel. This is just Capitol Hotel in Beijing. You know, gorgeous, you know, cultural art. And oh yeah, that's me. I realized there were no photos of me. Also, I wanted to prove that I actually was in China. It's actually, I don't know if you can tell that's actually me, but I realized when I was about to leave that I had no photos of actually me there. But by the way, what I'm standing in front of there is just a random restaurant. Might have even been out of business. But our random restaurants in the U.S. do not look that cool. Like, they really don't. Anyway, here's some random art in the hotel, and it's, you know, just gorgeous shit. Gorgeous shit. To use a technical terminology, gorgeous shit. It was everywhere. And this is not how the U.S. portrays China. They don't say, wow, the architecture's amazing, the culture's amazing, all this stuff. Instead, they just say, you know, tell you some awful thing about China and pretend that is it. That's all that matters. That's all you need to learn. And you know, people also think that you can't go to countries that are enemies of the United States. Now, China wouldn't call themselves an enemy, but the U.S. seems to call China an enemy. You can't go there or you're instantly corrupted, right? Just by the fact that you step foot in another country, that makes you corrupted. I literally had someone who emailed me who supposedly is a fan of my stuff, meaning they watch my stuff regularly. So this is not some like crazy right-winger. Email me and go, you're going to China? That's very suspect. And it's like, this is a massive country of 1.4 billion people, and everyone outside of it is never supposed to visit it? What does that achieve? Does that help us create a sustainable, better world? Does that help us create a world where people actually would learn and grow and foster a shared humanity for a future that's actually livable? Fucking no. It just creates hatred and xenophobia and propaganda. It lets propaganda foster and boil over because people don't know a country, they haven't met these. I mean, it's just unbelievable that people still think like that. You visited a country that we're told to hate? You went to Iran or Cuba? Oh my God! They must have put a weather balloon in your brain, didn't they? And then now you can't think.
This is halfway done. I'm gonna go. You guys.
I would love to fucking debate him, man.
Thanks for watching, you guys, and I will see you tonight, probably, or tomorrow. See y'all later. Peace. Thanks, Cyber.
Anytime, bro.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.